home, and it's an ideal place, I think, to open the first of the volunteer centers that we're going to have in this campaign. And before I invite you in, I should mention, I'm very, very happy. My wife Rula is here, my mom, my brothers Tom and Gord, my sister Nancy, a lot of family and friends and supporters, and a number of people have already approached me this morning and said they're here because they want to come in and sign up to volunteer. So that's terrific. That's why we call it a volunteer center. And I just want to say briefly to remind you what it is I'm asking you to volunteer for. And I feel very strongly that it's time for us to start to talk again about a just society. What kind of Canada do we want? What kind of person do we want to lead our country? And what does it mean right now to be a Canadian? And I think that's what the coming election is going to be all about. And I have essentially been campaigning for close to a year now. I've been north, south, east, west, top, bottom in this riding. I go to a lot of, some people might say I'm eating my way across Huron Bruce, so I go to a lot of church suppers and restaurants, and I hold my own little events to talk to people. And I hear a couple of things over and over again. The single most common thing I hear is that people, almost regardless of their politics, are sick and tired of Stephen Harper and his way of governing. And I hear that over and over and over. That people want a change. And I think our party in this campaign represents that change. Another thing I hear very frequently, people are very concerned. A lot of people are worried about the economy, and not just kind of the economy right now. They're worried about their future. They're worried about what they see as a growing gap between the haves and the have-nots in our society. And I hear this everywhere I go. At Mary's restaurant in Lucknow, I was doing one of these have your say cafes, and one guy I was speaking with, 22 years old, he's about to get married. He and his dad do custom renovation work, so self-employed. He said, I'm doing okay, but I'm about to get married. I'm really worried what this is all going to cost me. And, I don't make as much money as some of my friends. I don't get the fancy holidays. And I'm really worried how we're going to get by. And May guy comes over to me, introduces himself. Now, he works at Bruce Power. He considers himself to be quite well off. And he said, this income splitting thing of Stephen Harper's, yeah, it will put money in my pocket. But you know what? I don't need that. Give it to my daughter, who's working for 15 bucks an hour and trying to raise 3 kids and struggling to get by. She's the person who needs our support. And that stuck with me. Yes, I guess putting some savings away is a good idea. The Harper budget has an increase to what you can store away in a tax-free savings account. But I tell you, I bet you there's a 70-year-old lady serving coffee over at Tim Hortons. I don't think her top-of-mind concern is what she's going to do with that extra $10,000 at the end of the year. Like a lot of people, she's there, she's working, and she's struggling to get by. So I don't know if you saw earlier this week, Justin Trudeau did the big announcement, economic policy, and it's fairness for the middle class. Cutting taxes, increasing the child benefit, but it's geared toward the people who need it. And you can call this Robin Hood economics if you want, but to me, there's something very appealing, very Canadian about the idea that those who have done well are going to share a little bit with those who are struggling to get by and need our help. So that's what I'm fighting for, and that's what I'm asking you here today to come and sign up and join this campaign. And that's why we're calling this place a volunteer center. That's what it's all about. So I just want to thank you so very, very much for being here today. It's nice to see baby carriages, and I think at this time, I think somewhere we went to the dollar store and bought a ribbon. They didn't have a lot of ribbon there, but we did find a nice sparkly red ribbon. So